Welcome back, everyone, to What She Said. You are joined by your hosts. I am Paige.
I'm Moira.
And I'm Emma.
And this week we are recapping Sunday night's commitment ceremony all the way through to Wednesday night's dinner party. So this week has been very eventful, lots of ups and downs, and from people that you would least expect. So, who are we going to start with, ladies?
So I know who you want to talk about. I'm really fucked off with the whole thing. This is why I hate MAFS. The way they have edited him, Dave, the whole way through this to then twist it like that at the end. You, Emma, brought up that to apply for MAFS, you actually apply to this like one reality website and you can tick a whole lot of
casting.net.
Let's not promote it, and they can tick whatever number of boxes that they want to pick on whatever reality TV show they want to go on to. Well, I read that Dave applied for F-Boy Island Australia and he didn't get it, but he got MAFS. So I think that if people don't apply for MAFS, they shouldn't be on the show.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I don't have a lot to say about the couch. All I saw was Lauren and Clint turn up and sit on the couch. And I think that Lauren and Clint just didn't play the game.
Yeah.
But I still don't like Lauren.
I think she's a bit of a snob.
I'm actually really not fond of Clint because I just didn't think it was a good attitude. I think they could have stayed for the rest of it and then been polite and then said their goodbyes.
Or are they just not playing the game because they've seen through the veil of MAFS and they're just like, no, I'm not going to play your game. I'm not going to be who you want me to be on TV. I'm not going to enter into these scenarios and this narrative that you have planned for me. And I'm just going to do what I want to do and F your show.
Well, it's interesting that they show you all of like 20 minutes, if that, of everyone condensed. But in reality, they've been filming for like 12, 16, 18 hours.
Well, after all of these episodes, you know who I actually love? Jackie.
Yes, honestly, she is starting to like grow on me.
I love her. See the fact that she snuck phones in and was recording people? Because apparently between the cocktail party and the dinner, it's hours. It's hours between them. And they're not allowed to sit together. And she shows you a video and Karina's sitting and 2 meters away. Then you see Adrian and Paul, and then about 3 meters away, you see Dave in a corner. And there's someone there, and they're making sure that you're all not talking together.
Yeah.
Really?
It's horrific.
It really is just a TV show, isn't it?
It is.
It is what Lauren said, it's a fucking zoo. It is them controlling the people who you talk to, when you eat, when you're allowed to move.
And this is what I'm not liking. So, okay, they're showing Dave this week as being a horrible person, fucking Jamie around. But if we had have seen all the footage, all of the hours, if it was a 24-hour one, like we've been saying, Big Brother, they need to bring that kind of thing in, MAFS Big Brother, so everyone can see their personalities and create their own opinions on who the people really are.
And not what production wants you to see.
So I reckon they need to do a massive over. The way they have filmed the seasons from here right back to one will not stand next year. They have to do a massive flip. So they either do a Big Brother session where everyone lives in a house, but you are partnered up together beforehand. And then we see who actually delves into like who partner swaps in between and who gets along. And then it's either that or they get real people who are in a marriage who have real issues, and then they use the 3 experts to help them either stay. Do I stay or do I go? You 3, who is a relationship, who is a sex therapist, and who I don't know what job fucking does. They either use those 3 people to help real people guide themselves through the relationship.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've seen Jackie because I'm following Jackie. Honestly, if you watch some of her outside
she seems completely different to the person that you see on
I
TV.
can't get
who's
past
been
the
portrayed.
crocodile tears. I would not be able to be
Well,
friends
it's
with
interesting that you
It's
say
edited that way.
because exactly. She's been edited that way.
I don't blame her for crying if that's what she's really doing, because who she was partnered with.
I was just going to say, so can we move on to them for the couch session? Because one, I'm still confused that he's still telling her how to think and behave.
Right.
And I'm glad John called that out. What happens 6 weeks in? Your true person comes out. You can't hide it anymore. You can't be fake for that long. Eve and Jamie All I had was she told Dave she loved him and he didn't reciprocate. Is 6 weeks too soon to say I love you after an intense pressure relationship scenario? I don't think so either.
No, I think you can get true feelings.
Exactly.
If it is what I think it is, where you are like locked in together and you see no one else but each other, then no.
And there is in the outside world, there are people that fall in love within a month and get married within 2 months.
We're united on this. 6 weeks is not too soon to say I love you.
No. It's been shown on socials that Dave had only just recently broken up with a long-term partner.
He was engaged, wasn't he?
Yeah. Obviously, he wanted to go into F-Boy Island just to root around and do what F-Boys are going to do. And instead, he ended up getting married.
Wrong show, mate. Wrong show.
That's right. Fuck around and find out. That's exactly what he did.
So I'm just wondering though, because from what I've seen on social media, it appears that Dave and Jamie are still together.
So I've seen socials where it's Dave and Billy that are in a house together, and then there's someone behind the camera and we don't actually know who that someone is. So is it Jamie or is it someone else?
The next session was partner swap. All of the partners got a letter to say one of you will be moving in with another person. Essentially swapping.
Yeah.
Now, can I just say, I have an issue. Of course I do. Because why did the women have to move when we have so much
to know
shit to move?
That wasn't my issue with the partner swap.
No, I'm getting to another one.
Yeah, right.
Carry on though. What was your issue?
My issue was that it's unethical. Why are they bringing this
to begin with?
Yeah, why are they bringing this into play 6 weeks in when people are starting to form real relationships? So the idea of dating more than one person is what I've spoken to you guys about before. Date more than one person in the early stages to find out what you like about a person, what you don't like, and you can find red flags more quickly.
Not when you're married. Quotes.
Yeah, not when you're married. So I have a really issue with this, and I think this is kind of where issues were created.
So I actually don't have an issue with this. In the real world, I would. In the reality world, I don't. Right? So let's not beat around the bush. We're playing a game here. Right? I heard a thing that Elliot was talking and he was like, I don't know why Veronica is so upset. It's a reality TV show. They all have the mentality that this is a reality TV show and they're just playing it up for the cameras. I don't have an issue that they did a partner swap. I actually thought it was really good to have them partner up with someone else to give them actual feedback and in a one-on-one scenario where they can feel like they can open up with each other and someone can go, oh, that you do that? Why do you do that? Someone who's not afraid to tell them what is annoying. I actually think this is the whole reason why Jamie and Dave got to where they got to is because she was living in the love bubble and he was too gutless to actually tell her how he felt. So I actually thought it was really good. But did have an issue with, and I want to hear your thoughts on it, the bed situation. Some partners slept in the bed. Even if it is a reality TV show, I'm not doing that.
No.
Yeah. But,
no.
And that's
not
where
at
I
all.
say it's unethical. They shouldn't have put people in these positions. And this is where the show keeps disregarding people's real feelings and emotions. And it's fucking with people's heads.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a question for you too. And you can take your time to think about it. And so can our listeners. Would you rather have to spend 3 days with Adrian or Ryan?
Oh, God.
Adrian. That was easy. I reckon he'd be easy to get along. I mean, he's a bit of a dick, but I think he'd be easy to get along with. Ryan, I would be like Beth with Ryan, and it would have just been torture.
Yeah.
They purposely did that because
they had friction.
So they're like, oh, okay, that'll be good ratings. And that's also where I think I preferred Elliot, getting to see him a little bit more and allowing him to have a conversation with a normal person.
Yes. Yeah.
I appreciated the fact that Elliot actually took on Ree's feedback.
Yeah.
And he said that's really constructive, which is what I needed.
Initially thought he was a monster.
Me too.
See, and this is the
editing.
We're the experiment. I am telling you, we are the experiment. I felt the same. I was like, it seems like such a different Elliot. Like he was very considered, bought Ree the fruit and like, I know you're into your health and stuff. So I went and bought you some fruit and he offered thought out advice whenever she asked him a question. So
Yeah.
I thought that they must have had a really good week.
She said she had a good time. I think Veronica is, well, you know that there's a movie coming out and she plays a part in it.
No,
And which is, oh, okay. That's what Elliot was getting at. It's like you're learning one of your
And the
lines.
Oscar goes to...
It was very performative from her. Like, I am starting to get a bit annoyed with her. So the Veronica was making a comment about Elliot reading, and then Elliot snapped back, and then she blew up, and I'm like, no, you can't dish and not take.
I agree.
He had perfectly adequate eye contact with Ree, and I feel like when he and Veronica speak that he has perfectly adequate eye contact with her as well. So what does she want?
I think that maybe she just wants something to yell at.
So I had on Dave and Veronica that if she read the letter to Dave that was intended for Elliot, then she was somewhat flirting with the notion that he's a better match for her. And she did that quite often, because I saw she even said, I do think that I would have been better matched with Dave or Jeff. It feels like Veronica was selling herself to Dave as a couple to Dave whenever they were out for drinks. Like, you're probably what I would have gone for. You listen to me, and I feel like we have better banter to get. She was selling herself to them as a couple.
Yep.
And he was drinking up the Kool-Aid.
He was loving it. He was loving the attention.
It was just very obvious that she has a crush on him. She had the giggles.
She was giggling all over that table.
But she was like that on day one.
Like, you were very giggly, and she's like, I'm a very giggly person. It's nice to be back.
I agree with that. I think that she was like that with Elliot on the honeymoon. And I think that whatever their interactions behind the camera have been, she's just like, I can't be enjoying this because I'm stuck with this person in this place this whole time. They won't let me do this. And then she gets 3 days with someone who actually brings light to her. And I actually don't envy her for that. I think that that's probably who she truly is. And she needs to find someone who brings that out in her. But I do think she was trying to get
creeping on another woman's guy.
Oh, I don't think she cares. Reality TV and all.
She does not care. But at the end of the day,
I care.
I know technically everyone is in a relationship and they've been married. And this is going back against what I was saying is it's unethical to do the partner swap. But at the end of the day, would they choose each other if it wasn't on the show to be in a relationship? And if you're just in that early stage of dating and you meet someone else, I don't see anything wrong with dating a number of people at the same time. Veronica and Dave, maybe that's free game. I don't know.
Yeah, Suri's out on that one.
Yeah. As much as a fuckboy Dave is being portrayed,
you would tap the shit out of him.
I would tap the shit out of him.
You would climb that man, Mark. Come here, let me climb you, big boy.
Right.
6 weeks is a long time to hide your true self when they're filming.
A lot of masking.
Again, I think it was being edited, and I don't think it is quite what it seems to be.
Yeah, it's good editing, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm going to move on to Jeff and Jackie. So I thought Jeff did everything she wanted and treated her so well. And Jeff lives by the term happy wife, happy life, clearly. And Jackie is quite complimentary to Jeff. I thought she was just like, thank you. This is, oh my God, I love salmon. This is delicious.
Yes.
I thought that the seaming of the dress was a trick, was like a test, and he passed with flying colors. I think he was just like, the way I'm going to get through this is just to do whatever she wants. And he did. He was very hospitable.
Exactly.
That version of Jackie, whether that's the real Jackie, I'm not sure. I can see why her and Clint are now together. It didn't make sense before, but it makes sense now.
Yeah. If anyone has any doubts about whether they like Jackie or not, they need to follow her on the socials and watch all of the things, because I honestly feel like she has exposed MAFS for the absolute shit show that it is. And good on her.
Gosh, yes.
Good on her.
And the executive producer is being investigated.
I thought he already resigned.
And the producer of MAFS, she's being questioned over the antics that she put them all through.
Yep. Yeah. And if you watch Jackie's
taking away their rights and liberties.
Yeah, if you watch Jackie's behind the scenes, you'll find out some more. Okay. So let's move on to the Karate Kid and Beth. So is he displaying coercive control by alluding to them not talking about their relationship to anyone? And if they ask, it's all sunshine and rainbows, and we've discussed it like 4 or 5 times already. I've got faith that she will speak on the work that we've put in day to day, to be better. it.
Mm-mm.
I'm
What do
sorry.
you do for the relationship?
He controls all the narratives and
Exactly.
everything for what she
Yep.
says and also what he tells people. When Beth came in and she's asking him questions, he said, "I'll tell you as much as I want to tell you."
Yeah.
He was just having a dig, and he just looked so smug about himself. But Jackie nailed it when she said Ryan has an extreme sense of masculine pride. Ryan wants me to stay silent and just put in a happy face. Even whenever Beth knocked on the door and he was like, "You stay here, I'll get it." No, man, I can answer a bloody door. Like, I am capable. So I actually think that although Adrian and Athena have had a very public display of ups and downs, I think it's very well hidden behind doors what's happening with Jackie and Ryan. Because I saw something on social media before the whole Jackie messaging Jeff situation. Way before that happened, Jeff messaged Jackie and said, "Is everything okay? I heard yelling from Ryan at about midnight." And she was like, "Yeah, it's okay."
And that's what she said with the tell-all behind the scenes and how production are being raked over the coals, because she's like, I was put into an abusive relationship with an abusive man.
I don't know why she didn't leave. She could have written leave so many weeks, and every week I assumed that they would leave because they're so disjointed.
So then we had TJ and Karina. So, okay, I'm confused with how I felt about her crying about having to go and be with TJ and Paul being left with Athena because of Paul's history with Cleo.
And again, it comes down to the fact that everyone has a history.
Look, I get if Paul and Cleo were madly in love.
Exactly.
And for this, whatever reason, they had to part and they had to go their different ways. But I don't understand. He's had a fling. She's had a fling.
2 years ago.
Right. They've moved on. I guess the whole point of what you were trying to say, Emma, was about the third person situation. Like, it's almost like you're cheating on your partner.
Yeah.
So I actually don't know how I feel about her crying. It's the sister. Who cares if they're twins or two different people? But then I guess I get why she's crying, because she's like, they're trying to split us up by making it look like we're all having an affair.
Yeah.
I think everyone's nerves are very raw at the moment.
Yeah, look, you're entitled to be jealous, especially if she's starting to have real feelings for Paul. But I also see her point of she's from a strict Catholic family, and to commit adultery, which is effectively what she was saying it is, that goes against her beliefs. So I get that. That's adultery in her eyes.
She's not being asked to shag TJ. She's going there to get different feedback.
Yeah. But some people class cheating as even flirting with the opposite sex. I mean, different people have different levels of what they class cheating as.
But the task was not go and flirt with someone, go and see if you have a better connection with someone else. The task was just partner swapping for feedback week. Feedback week, not test the waters week.
Yeah.
Dry your fucking eyes, Karina.
But effectively, at the end of the day, for some couples, it was test the waters week, as we clearly saw unfold.
Absolutely. Let's bring up Paul and Athena, I guess. He was definitely trying to win friends by throwing Karina under the bus, though.
I did not like what he did there. I understand that it was feedback week, but he didn't actually need to say what she said about Cleo.
He had enough examples to give without bringing that up.
I'd be like, mate, where are your loyalties?
That I agree with. So I do agree that what you say between your fake husband and you should be kept between your fake husband and you.
Yeah, which is safe, buddy, in the experiment.
Let's move to it. Let's get to the return to the husbands. So I loved Jackie's letter to Ryan.
Yes.
Oh my God. His pride.
Come out swinging, girlfriend. You deserve to.
I loved how Jeff was like, oh, shit's going to hit the fan. I don't know.
But it's all true. So she's like, yeah, you need a submissive partner, like a trad wife. I feel like you will contribute less financially, and then I will have to be the primary caregiver, leaving you to have to be the caretaker to raise the family. All he had to do was address that, right? It was pretty easy. Like, that's how you're feeling.
What I didn't like about his reaction to that is him saying, I will never be a stay-at-home.
Yeah. I feel like he has a sense of pride, and his ego wouldn't let him be a stay-at-home dad. And Ryan agreed, saying he would not do that with his life. It's a ridiculous thing. It's insulting to think that I would ever consider that as a stay-at-home dad. There is nothing better than a stay-at-home dad who is there for his supporting his partner, and it's providing for your family. I think they have no concept of what goes into raising a child, making them who they are today. Like, they have no idea.
Well, it just makes me not feel validated for the last 7 years of my life.
Yeah, exactly. No. So I think he really just showed his true colors, and I have nothing more to say about him.
No, move on.
Yeah. All right, it's not getting any better, guys. Elliot and Veronica.
God.
So her letter was literally just about how good her and Dave are together. And I loved how he was waiting for her to get to the good bit about him, and it didn't come.
Yeah.
She's like, I need attentiveness. And then her passive-aggressive comment about, I don't have a dictionary to tell you what that is, Elliot. So she needs attentiveness, and he needs positive encouragement. That he's like a dog, right? He just wants to be told, good boy, really good, you're doing a good job, like, I really appreciate this. And she just needs attention. And if they just understood that about each other, then I think they could move forward. But he has a very easy tendency to snipe back when he's hurt. And that whole, you're doing it for the Oscar.
He's probably played a few different characters, and this is just a character for her.
Yeah.
I think that his time with Ree probably would have, if he had have implemented what she had suggested, just those couple of things.
I don't think he got time to.
No.
Yeah, no.
I think he looked at her, she sat down at the table, and they yelled at him. And he was like, this is why I don't look at her and I read my book. Moving on to Paul and Karina. Didn't Paul just shit a brick when he realized he had to read the letter out to Karina? That was the best.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
and
the
she's
best
like, are you nervous?
I don't know why he left the letter there.
They had to be able to look at the letter and digest it in their own way. And then she's like, snob.
Well, this is another thing. This is why we're not seeing all sides of her either, of anyone. We're not seeing all sides of anyone. We're seeing the sweet, innocent person that doesn't like to see people argue or fight, or yet secretly, is she a snob?
I think Karina's just embarrassed that she's going to be outed as a judgmental bitch and a snob behind people's back.
I have a question. She didn't bring up, it gives me the ick. He just said to Athena, this gives me the ick. Because for me, if I was to read a snob over it gives me the ick, the snob part wouldn't worry me so much as it gives me the ick.
Moving along to Jamie and Dave.
So disappointed in the fact that they're falling apart.
Right. His thing is he's not a sexually expressive person. For someone who applied for F-Boy Island, I can't even believe that. He was definitely dodging her question about, do you have feelings for me? And he was like, I'm in a different position to you. That's not the question. Like, I'm not asking you, do you love me? I'm asking you, do you have feelings for me? Like, it doesn't have to be love. It can be like, I want to see this moving. Yeah, I'm getting there. But he completely dodged that.
Pretty much all of this with my hands to my face and like covering my mouth. Like, I found it really difficult to fathom the situation. It's gone from one point to somewhere I never imagined it would have ever been.
Agreed.
Yep. I also don't believe that you need to be in love with someone to have sex with them.
No.
So him saying when she was like, are your feelings not there and that's why we're not having as much sex? Yes. What a load of shit. I'm just disappointed that we didn't get to see more of him and his letter and what he had to say to her. What questions did he ask Veronica?
What was it that Veronica said to Dave? What was the guidance that she gave him? Leave Jamie and go out with me?
I do get. So Jamie, again, and I said this last week, she's not allowing people to talk. So she's becoming the new Morena. The fact that it's just, mouth regurgitation and nobody gets a chance.
Yeah.
Dave was trying to, I feel like if she had given him a chance.
Dave was trying to deflect.
I agree. No, he was never going to answer that question.
He was never going
to answer the question.
I think if she had taken a break from like yelling at him.
She was yelling at him because he wasn't answering the question. He was deflecting. Right. She was saying, is the lack of you not loving me and your feelings the reason why we don't have sex? No, I'm trying to, no, you're just not answering the question. That's what she was right. Like, it's a yes or no answer, mate. Like, it's very simple. No, and he just wanted to beat around the bush and make up a story.
I agree. It's not as that. I'm not saying I'm on Dave's side because this
sounds a lot like it, love. Really? I was going to bloody mute you in a minute.
I just know people that when confrontation occurs, they shut down. They don't
fight,
respond.
flight, or freeze. So you're thinking that he's freezing.
Yes. I didn't like their matchup because clearly they were attracted to each other. And that's how affairs happen in real life, right? It only takes one interaction with somebody to have a little bit of a spark, a little bit of a, grass is greener on the other side sometimes. And that's all it takes for a relationship to fall apart. I'm not saying in every relationship, but this is how in some relationships it can happen. It's as simple as that.
I think these guys are single, Alan and Athena, none of them have kids. So I think it's very much playing the field. I think they all think I'm in a reality TV show. I'm not taking this seriously. But if they put me together with someone, but I find somebody else, I'm going to go with somebody else, exactly like Jackie's done. That's pretty different.
Yeah.
I think the only two that are really taking it seriously are Rhea and Jeff.
Yeah.
Because they had that foundation to begin with.
Exactly, right? Which is where I'm leading to. MAFS needs a real overhaul. They either need to big brother it, or they need to get people who have been in relationships for long term or want to work on relationships. Let's move to the dinner party. And can I just start off by saying, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but when Dave was getting ready, did anyone notice this bottle of VIP poo spray on the counter?
No.
Go back and watch it. It is the very start where you see
subtle plug for VIP.
It was just like, he's digging his fingers into this gel or wax to do his hair, and he's like just on his shit. Like, I just thought that was the funniest thing. Oh my God, so funny. I thought that was great. But anyway, I thought it was weird how he said to her, do you want to talk about it now or at the dinner party?
Yeah.
I was like, are you for the show or for the relationship?
Exactly. Yeah. Why would you want to air it in front of people? That's a discussion that you have between yourselves, because if you actually wanted to sort it out, you'd do it behind closed doors. You wouldn't air it out to everyone else that's in the room with you. You discuss it there and then and try and be amicable. Yeah. Go to the dinner party together hand in hand, because you've had that chance to discuss your grievances with each other.
He didn't want Jamie to mention it in front of Adrian, but I think she was just at a loss of like, what's going on here? I need to ask someone.
Exactly.
I guess that's kind of like Karina going to Paul, what I said to you is in confidence. Like, why are you bringing this up with other people? So he was probably a bit hurt about that. But I think Adrian was the best person for her. I think they seem to get along really well, Jimmy and Adrian.
Yeah.
And I think he was actually the best person because his brutal honesty was exactly what she needed.
I kind of agree with Dave where he says Adrian's a snake in the grass. Because, she did like ask Adrian, what's your opinion? But he drove it in a way that it appeared Dave isn't into her. So that got in her head. Am I living this lie? Is Dave not into me? And I don't think that's actually the case.
Look, I don't doubt that Adrian was like, hey, I'm going to give you the brutal truth. And the brutal truth is Adrian's truth, right? Dave's truth might be, I'm not having sex with you because this is something that's going on with me and it's affecting me in this way. Adrian's truth is, if I'm not having sex with you, I'm not into you. I just think he was edited really bad, but he also said the things. So for him to say, when he was asked, how do you feel about Jamie?
I don't
hate the girl.
All of the experts were like, what did he just say?
So is he leading her on? Sorry. Have you not been sitting on the couch? Because I've been watching you every fucking Sunday and you're just backing up everything Jamie is saying, and she's saying it's for glitter and gold, and you haven't said one thing.
Even Jeff, who apparently is very close to Dave in the show, he was blindsided.
Yeah. Ian said exactly what I was thinking is, did he just decide he didn't want to be with Jimmy after being with Veronica?
Yes, exactly.
Did she just stroke his ego?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think he was into Jamie, and I think they were planning all of these future endeavors together, but I think he probably is more attracted to Veronica. Jamie has a gorgeous body. I find her personality sometimes a little bit overbearing, and you do see that Dave turns off sometimes when she's going on and on and on about whoever she's defending that week. He does. He kind of zones out a little bit. I do see the pained expressions on his face sometimes.
But also I think he's quite a quiet person. That's the way it's been made to look. Like he's quite a quiet, reserved person, and the whole point of them pairing him with Jamie is to get her to bring him out. She's kind of the yin to his yang sort of thing.
I did like how Jeff probed Dave. Actually, it was a leading question. So the question was something like, but you want to be with her, right? He did say yes, he wants it to work. And Jamie's eyes kind of opened and she piped down then. If she had have been quiet the first day and allowed him to
100% disagree. He was the one that was sitting there going, yeah, no, I've sat there on the couch every week and said, I don't know what I'm feeling like, I just can't get there. No, absolutely not.
You've been telling the experts that, I'm worried that things aren't happening.
No, I'm not, but I don't know.
I don't, so I can't watch it. I can't watch it and go and take it as it is, because we've been fucked over so many times.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but now I'm trying to defend the other guy because we haven't seen the real story. That's where I'm coming from.
But then Dave's sitting there saying he's had this revelation that when he sat down and he thought about it after Jamie's brought it up to him, that it's prompted him to think about his feelings. He's been prompted every week about what his feelings are on that couch. Yes. And if he can't turn around in every session and go, I don't know how I'm feeling, I can't get there. After 6 couch sessions, experts would have at some point gone, Dave, you keep giving me the same answer every week, and every week I'm trying to get there, trying to get there. After 6 weeks, are you not there yet? Whenever he was asked, how do you think that made Jamie feel? And he was like, he actually didn't say words. He was like, and I was like, it was like, I don't give a fuck attitude. But then he completely flipped it and was like, of course I want this to work out. I want to fight for this. I'm like,
do you though, mate?
I'm sorry. And what were you saying at the start of this? Because Jamie is even going, huh? What? Huh? What?
This is where I'm coming from, right? I feel like he doesn't take confrontation very well and he shuts down.
I call bullshit on that, because he has been the instigator for confrontation with other partners, with other relationships that are in there.
Because he's been able to prepare for it.
We will see. That's it. We will see what unfolds.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what editing magic they bring up next week. Yeah. Paul and Karina, though, Paul was definitely digging himself a hole. Like, he was trying to bring Karina and Athena closer together by throwing her under the bus. And he was not taking accountability at all for the breach of the
accountability. Can I just, before we got to the dinner party, that she first came back to the apartment, he said to her, we're okay, right? And whenever you feel unsure about something, just come to me straight away. And clearly she can't come to you, because you're going to go off to another bride and tell her what she's just said.
And then the other thing was Jeff and Jackie, because Jeff's face at the dinner party was exactly the entire nation who was watching MAFS. The letter that Jackie did and wrote for Ryan.
It helped us.
How could this possibly bring you both together? Did you not read it?
She wrote it so that it would bring them together. Like, she's like, I knew it would work. Like,
yeah. What? And Jeff's like, if the experts are confused, I've got no hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just a mere mortal.
Yeah. Loved that. But yeah, his face was exactly how everyone is just reacting to Jackie and Ryan.
Yeah.
That's a shame. See, that relationship, they are just on there for airtime.
Actually, so awkward.
I actually think the longer that Jackie was there, the more she was just exposing MAFS.
Yeah,
so do you think that was her plan?
I don't know if she's a pawn. I don't know if she's a pawn. I don't know if they both are. Because this is my thing, right? Maybe there is a theory here that they are both planted to take down Channel 9. How these two have managed to stay, both wanting to stay every week. Everyone is like, why?
Huh?
Oh, what? And then all of a sudden she's outing Channel 9. I reckon they were planted.
You know, I despise Jackie that much that every time I've seen her on social media, I've flicked right past it.
You need to watch her.
You're missing out. You're missing out on some juice.
You need to watch her.
So, as you can see, our avid listeners and viewers,
all of you,
we love you dearly. We are still clawing our way through MAFS. We are not enjoying it as much as we did in the beginning because it's all coming crashing down. So please do hang around for the next installment of our wonderful MAFS catch-up. Thankfully, it's only once a week now, and we only have a few more weeks to go. If you have enjoyed MAFS as much as we have, do continue to listen, because we do greatly appreciate you.
If we have to watch, you have to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Send what your theories are. We'd love to hear them. Do follow us on all our socials, even on YouTube, because, yes, we're very good on YouTube. You've been listening to your hosts. I am Paige.
I'm Moira.
And I'm Emma.
And that's what she said.
Bye.
Bye.